Researchers say billions of login details have been leaked, giving criminals access to accounts around the world. The security firm CyberNews is warning that the data breaches affect Google, Apple and Facebook. Researchers say they amount to about 16 billion hacked credentials, which means many people affected are likely to have had their login details for more than one account leaked. The report suggests that the data was stolen through multiple events over time and not just from a single hack. Experts are advising people to change passwords and use multi-factor authorization. That's all very worrying. Ryan Kalember is a cybersecurity expert and he joins us from Silicon Valley in California. So very good to have you with us. Please help us out. 16 billion compromised credentials. How bad is this leak?
Well, the good news is that this isn't really a new data breach. As you mentioned before, this is a compilation of data that's been compiled over a very long period of time. The bad news, of course, is that 16 billion credentials is quite a lot. And what it really indicates is the success of a new form of malware that has been rising to prominence called the infostealer, which is capable of stealing hundreds of credentials all at once. That's why the number has gotten quite so high.
So if all the money is still on the account and it was collected, all the details ages ago, then you're okay. Or what should users do now to secure their data, whether or not they're compromised?
That's a great question. I think over the span of time that this breach covers, it is very likely that you have changed your password, added two-factor authentication, ideally in the form of an authenticator code, or even better, what's called a passkey. And there's really not a lot of risk for any individual account. In fact, attackers have compromised so many accounts that their issue is figuring out which ones to monetize, much more so than actually gaining access to some of the credentials in the first place. Many of these credentials are old, they probably don't work anymore, or they don't work without the second factor. For the purposes of protecting yourself, one of the best things to do is to actually see if your credentials have shown up in any of the breaches that are likely to be contained in this compilation. There's great public services. I would point to Have I Been Pwned? We spell pwned, P-W-N-E-D, that all do a very good job of surfacing when your credential might have actually surfaced as part of one of the breaches compiled here.
And how could this even happen? I mean, companies like Facebook, Apple, Google, do they do enough to prevent those leaks?
That's a good question. I think the issue that is really prominent here is that the credentials were very likely stolen from individuals and compromised websites. That means that a single person's browser, which might contain hundreds of credentials, are all able to be compromised by one malware infection. So that's why the numbers get really high, and they span all of these different sites like Facebook and, of course, the other internet giants. Now, they are taking steps to make sure that this is less relevant in the future. For example, if you sign up for a Microsoft account right now, you won't actually create it with a password. You'll create it with something called a passkey. Apple and Google and the other internet giants have also done a good job of trying to kill the password. But of course, those old ones might still be active. And of course, if you do not connect them to a second factor, they might still introduce some risk.
All right. A little bit of relief, I feel. Thank you so much, Ryan Kalember, for bringing us up to date on this.